That's okay, this is CAD 1.4, the slide block. We've got a part file. We're going to start with the extrude tool. If you look at the slide block, you can see that there's a base plate and there's a protrusion in the middle. The reason you can tell that it's the protrusion in the middle is the circles cut out in the middle. If you look at the top view, you can see the edge of those circles, which is indicated by those hidden detail lines, extend right to the top and bottom of that shape. So those hidden detail lines give us the information to tell us that there's the middle piece is sitting up from a base plate. Okay, so we're going to start with the base plate. I'm going to draw the base plate as I see it. So I'm going to I might draw it away from the reference planes. I find them quite difficult when it wants to snap to the reference planes and it's not the correct angle or length. So I'm going to move away from those. I'm going to make it 66 tall, and we have to add 44 plus 16 plus 16, which is 72. So I'm going to make it 72, tab, 66. Enter. And 0 angle. Okay, so let's just fit that to screen. Zoom into that area now. Okay. Alright, now we want the cutout on that corner. We're going to start by putting in a couple of lines here, 38 along here. These are just construction lines to tell us where this angle goes to, and 20 down here. Okay, so you can see here we've got, we've got dimensions on this shape, 66, 72, shorter ones. Okay, so we've got this shape, and then we're going to create that cutout. Now if you see, I'm hovering on this line. This is pretty important. If I hover on this line, you can see it's highlighted in orange, the one that I want to snap to. When I get to the end of that line, it comes up with a little stick with a ball thing on the end. Say I'm going to snap to the end point of that line. So I click on the end point of that line, go to the other one, make sure it's highlighting in orange, go to the end point, so it's actually joining up to my construction lines. I want to get rid of these, so I'm going to use the trim tool to get rid of those lines there. Click twice. There we go. So I should be just left with that shape. Close sketch. Okay, now it's just defaulting to a sort of a fairly standard distance. I actually need to key in the thickness of that base plate, which is 12. Press enter. You can see that it snaps to that thickness instead. So it's still wanting to know which way I want to go with it. Just straight up is fine. Blue line, get rid of the blue line by right-clicking on the screen or hitting the finish button. The blue line indicates that the drawing is not finished. If you try and save the drawing with the blue line there, you'll find you come back and open your drawing, and there will be open your file, and there'll be no drawing in there. Okay, we're going to do the piece in the middle that is sticking up off this base plate now. Okay, we're going to start with a few construction lines. So off the corner, we're going to go 22 in. Okay. We're going to come down, straight down, and we're going to come across here, another 20. There's always more than one way to do these things. It's no absolute correct way. Okay, I'm going to start with that point and just cross over there without even measuring. Now I've got some extra lines sticking off. I can use the trim tool again to get rid of those extra lines to make my shape. If I hit close sketch, they should all know they're joined. I need to key in the distance that it's going to stick up, which is 25. So type in 25, enter. Okay, it's still wanting direction, so I'm going to click upwards, and then I need to right click in the white area and hit the finish button. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see that. Keeping it away from the reference planes has made life a lot easier, and it's going to continue to make life easier as I put the cutouts in on that top face. I'm going to use cut, not hole. Hole is just for threaded holes and for tapered holes, so definitely use cut. Don't touch hole at this point for this drawing. Okay, so we're going to click on that top face. We need the center points for these circles. So I'm going to find, if I hover on this line, you'll notice as I move across this line, it changes icon next to my cursor changes and it's indicating the center point of that line. Okay, I can come straight off that and come down for the center point of the circle. I'm going to place 16, enter, place that. I'm going to place a circle on that end point, which is diameter. It says 2 holes, diameter 12. So we're going to type in the diameter 12, enter. As soon as I hit enter, it places that circle. Now these are 44 apart, so I'm just going to do another line off the end of that line. That is 44. Type in 44, enter. Right click to end. Another circle on the end point of that line. Diameter again 12, enter. Okay, as soon as I hit enter, it's placed it. So using the trim tool, I'm going to get rid of those construction lines, all of them, and I can hit close sketch and make sure you go back through your shape. So you're cutting out the solid, right click to get rid of the blue, and there you have it. It is the slide block. Well done, save your file.